The Olympic gold medalist, knockout champion, and unbeaten fighter Claressa Shields attempted to secretly marry Papoose behind Remy Ma's back. Not only did Remy Ma discover this, but he also crashed the wedding, grabbed Claressa's wig, and dragged her out of the venue like a bag of laundry. Oh no, baby, isn't just a scandal. It's a reality TV finale that leaked into real life. Where were you when Remy Ma turned a lavish estate wedding into a full-fledged demolition site? The events that day left guests screaming, lace fronts flying, and Papoose frozen at the altar as if he had seen a ghost. Or his entire life flashed before his eyes. We have leaked footage from anonymous sources, as well as an exclusive quote from a guest who claimed it was Love and Hip Hop meets WWE SmackDown. So buckle up, because what began as wedding bells ended in wig-snatching warfare. I promise you will want every juicy, petty, violent detail. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. This may be the most chaotic event of the decade. And yes, that includes the slap heard around the Oscars. Shut down by Remy Ma herself, including wig snatch. So, let's get this straight. Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing legend, was secretly planning to marry Remy Ma man, Papoose. You heard me, Papoose. It's the same Papoose who had black love embroidered in his DNA. It's the same Papoose who held Remy down during her 6-year prison sentence, wrote poetry about her, and once declared that he would never look at another woman. That poop. However, he was at the altar with Claressa wearing a cream tux, holding vows written on gold foil paper, and grinning as if he hadn't just committed a federal offense against the Black Love movement. While Claressa may have been unbeaten in boxing, she obviously believed she could enter this marriage match without avoiding karma. However, she forgot that Remy M doesn't take Ellie's. According to sources, the wedding was extremely private, with no press, no paparazzi, no phones, guests having to sign non-disclosure agreements, turning in their electronics and acting as though they weren't watching a high-definition scandal unfold. This is where it gets interesting, though. One of Claressa's hairstylists, because it's always someone from Glam, took a mere selfie while repairing the bride's edges, captioning it, "Wedding in the meantime, back at the wedding. Everything was beautiful." Claressa was walking down the aisle to a live harpist. Papoose had tears in his eyes, and the guests were sipping champagne thinking. That selfie somehow made its way into Remy Ma's inbox, and baby, that was the beginning of the end. Now let's talk about the pull-up. Remy didn't text, call, or post anything critical on Instagram. She dressed entirely in black, as if she was attending a funeral, which she might have been, and she jumped in an SUV with tinted windows, allegedly whispering to the driver, "Don't stop till I say so." They were going to see black excellence, but instead they got a front row seat to black chaos, starring Remy Ma. The doors flew open in the middle of the vows and guests gasped. One groomsman dropped his champagne flute, and there she was, in full-fledged New York mode, in heels and fury. She didn't raise her voice or flinch, but instead she walked up the aisle like it was the Grammys' red carpet. She looked directly at Claressa and said, "This is your idea of a legacy marrying someone else's man in my face. You can keep the man, but that wig is mine now." The harpist stopped mid-note. Guests screamed. The photographer continued to snap as if he knew this was Pulitzer material. And Remy Ma grabbed Claressa by her exposed braid pattern and pulled her down the aisle, like she was an Amazon return. Claressa had left Papoose frozen, with one hand on his chest and the other still holding the ring. He appeared to have just been slapped by every poor choice he had ever made. The officer whispered, "Should I stop?" One guest reportedly yelled, "No. Oh, keep surpassing Netflix in this regard." Meanwhile, Claressa was trying to fight back, but sources say Remy Ma had her in such a tight grip all she could do was yell, You're crazy." Remy allegedly said, "No, I'm loyal. You're crazy. I'm at Claressa and Papoose's wedding." And Remy Ma just turned it into WWE Raw. "I saw the wig fly like a dove, and this can't be life." Twitter was already on fire when someone live tweeted, "From the bushes behind the food truck." As things became messier, someone else shared the slow down wig snatch moment. Another video went viral with the caption, "When the vows say speak now or forever, hold your peace," and dramatic piano music underneath. And Remy Ma says, "Bet." The DJ accidentally played Lean Back in the hopes that it would settle things down, but it didn't. Remy apparently said, "You think it is a remix? I'm not here for nostalgia, I'm here for justice." Meanwhile, chaos had broken out inside the club. It's true that Claressa was bowling and barefoot halfway across the yard when distant sirens could be heard. One witness claimed that she even asked the police, "You'll get here fast if you are SVP too." The flashing lights lit up the night like the BET Awards, and Remy was still outside, not running, not panicking, just casually reapplying her lip gloss as if this was just another Tuesday. We may never know who called the police, but it was the wedding planner, the harpist, or one of the unbothered aunties who brought their own folding chair just in case. But here's the twist. This wasn't going to end with a peaceful arrest. No, ma'am. Because when officers approached her, one put his hand on her shoulder and said, "Ma'am, we need you to join us." Remy responded, "Cool, but if you touch me again, I'll snatch your mustache off too." At that point, the situation took an unexpected turn, because karma had a whole plot twist planned for Remy Ma too. One of the cops, obviously unprepared for the situation, went to restrain her and unintentionally grabbed Remy by wig, pulling her until the crowd gasped once more. One bridesmaid fainted, and the groom's mother yelled, "Not the circle of wigs." Ree's own hairpiece came loose, and the woman who had grabbed Claressa was now being snatched by the police by her lace front, and as she was led to the police car, still proud, perfect, and angry, the internet declared that justice had been served. Have you ever seen the internet go into real time? The world briefly stopped spinning when the policeman unintentionally grabbed Remy Ma's wig. While attempting to arrest her, Facebook aunties were in prayer circles. Twitter exploded, TikTok fell to its knees. And someone tweeted, "Remy Ma just went from snatcher to snatched." This is what Beyoncé meant by full circle. Let's be clear, though, that this wasn't some "I knew it was over when Remy said, I did what needed to be done" as they put her in cuffs. This was a casual traffic stop arrest. There were flashing lights, 3 squad cars, a crowd of wedding guests in high heels filming with burner phones, and Remy Ma holding a wig in one hand while maintaining her dignity in the other. One of the guests told our anonymous investigative team, who were undoubtedly not listening in behind the dessert table, "You would think that once she was in the back of the squad vehicle, everything would settle down, but it wasn't even close." That was simply the "you all thought it was over." But Claressa Shields didn't take humiliation lightly. She got her wig snatched mid-vow and was dragged down the aisle. And now she was determined to square up even in front of the police. Claressa stormed out of the building barefoot and ready for round 2, just as the police were escorting her out of the venue, wigless, cuffed, and still swearing in perfect rhyme schemes. They even said, "Let me get 1 minute with her." From the rear seat, Remy allegedly retorted, "You have 60 seconds to get better edges." Boo! The crowd lost it. Officers had to separate the two like it was a UFC pre-fight press conference, and the energy was completely unhinged. One uncle started selling plates, and a teenager went live on Instagram yelling, "Better make the shade room or I'm suing." Meanwhile, Papoose was still standing at the altar alone, still holding a wedding ring like it was radioactive, looking like a man who just realized he hadn't had peace since 2006, and trust people had questions. Everyone wanted to know how. Did it get this far? How did we go with Remy? And according to leaked messages sent to a gossip blog called Unbothered Tea Weekly, Papoose and Claressa had been seeing each other in secret for more than a year, not weeks, months, or even a full year. And guess where they met? A podcast taping. Of course, the connection sparked when Papoose was there promoting his new mixtape. lyrical love, and what started as a freestyle, Papoose's relationship goals to public. Wedding warfare are what's happening in the Lifetime original series. This is where things get messy. According to Claressa's stylist, Remy had suspicions all along that Papoose had been overly protective of Claressa's name, deleted messages too quickly, and even started using Face ID to hide his phone. Classic signs of foul play. But Remy continued to give it the benefit of the doubt until that adorable bridal selfie appeared on her screen and she listened. The argument in the green room escalated into, "Can I walk you to your car?" And then into, "Let's plan a wedding behind my wife's back." Say what you want about Remy Ma, but once she's triggered, it's over. According to security footage, which was leaked by a venue employee who now sells exclusive content on Patreon, Remy parked her car sideways in front of the venue, like it was Fast and Furious, Bronx Drift. She didn't even close the door. Just barged in like she had nothing to lose, and now she might actually be facing actual charges. Yes, you heard it here first. Police are looking into the incident as a high-profile celebrity altercation with intent to disrupt a private event. That's legal speak for you. Insiders claim that prosecutors are considering using wig snatching to disrupt the peace through physical assault and trespassing and emotional terrorism. It's a fake, but it feels real. And an even more shocking leaked memo suggests that Claressa may be charging both Remy and the venue for failing to prevent a public embarrassment during a sacred ceremony. Meanwhile, the public's reaction is out of control, with social media polls showing that 58% of people believe Remy was justified but chaotic. 27% believe Papoose set both women up for power, and 15% still find it hard to believe that wigs can be stolen so easily. At the station, sources claim that Remy Ma was offered a hoodie to cover her head. She reportedly replied, "Nah, let them see me. I'm still that chick, wig or not." This is when the streets proclaimed her the people's champ. But the question still stands. Be posted when you marry someone else's man. Expect the ex to bring fireworks. And Remy, she doesn't play with sparklers. She brings the whole 4th of July. Even Wendy Williams' former producers allegedly reached out to see if they could turn the entire situation into a limited series. The world hasn't recovered from the most scandalous wedding crash in hip-hop history. And 48 hours have passed since it happened. Memes are being printed on hoodies, and there is even an unapproved reenactment circulating on TikTok with sock puppets. However, this isn't just a viral moment anymore. It's a full-blown cultural reckoning. What comes next? Remy is facing possible charges. Claressa wants revenge. Papoose may need witness protection. And the internet is still playing that dragging scene like it's the Zapruder film of hip-hop drama. According to utterly unsubstantiated reports, her mugshot was leaked online. And the famous pose, which included a slightly raised chin tilted with purpose and a look that said, "I'd do it again" in heels, has somehow become even more iconic. However, this is where things get legally juicy, as fake insiders at the Bronx District Court claim Remy is facing 3 charges: disturbance of a private event, assault by lacefront, and felony embarrassment in the 1st degree. The judge presiding over the case, who may or may not be a fan of Remy, allegedly told her attorney, "Honestly, if I were her, I'd have snatched the wig." In addition, it's not just courtrooms getting involved. According to reports, the Hip Hop Relationship Council trademark, yes, we made that up, is looking into Papoose's loyalty license. Word on the street is that if found guilty of emotional betrayal, he could be permanently barred from ever again quoting Maya Angelou and calling Remy his queen in public. What Papoose has to say for himself. After days of silence, he finally appeared in a surprise live stream wearing sunglasses indoors and speaking softly. "I just want peace. I never wanted. I love my family. I respect all women. And I just wanted a fresh start." The comments are unrelenting, sir. You held her down. for 6 years and couldn't hold down a secret wedding without blinking twice if Claressa forced you to do this. But here's the twist. Just before the wedding, a leaked voice note purportedly from Claressa's Shield surfaced, sent to one of her friends. In it, she claims that Remy isn't even checking for him anymore and is out with that other guy. Easy. Or whatever. Just speeding up what was already ending. And now the internet is wondering if this was a betrayal or if it was just bad timing. Remy Ma has reportedly been offered a full-length documentary deal with Tubi and a 6-figure speaking engagement called Wigs and War: How I Took My Power Back. Meanwhile, a fakechange.org petition is gaining traction with over 80,000 signatures to officially recognize wig snatching as a form of self-defense and emotional warfare. The comments are pure gold if your man is at an altar and you aren't the bride. Remy is fighting for her man or for her ego. In any case, the fallout is wild. The season is open. Wig snatching is the new slap normalization, and the public's reaction is still hilariously divided. Team Remy is printing "I Said I Did Too" vengeance t-shirts, and Team Claressa is holding a charity boxing match to raise money for victims of public hairline trauma. Team Papoose, on the other hand, is out there by himself, wandering the streets of Brooklyn like a character from an Unpaid Bet miniseries. But wait, things get even worse for Papoose. According to sources, Rhee's legal team has formally filed a dignity injunction, a completely fictitious legal motion that prohibits Papoose from publishing any poetry or spoken word poetry, while Claressa isn't done either. She held a press conference outside a hair supply store, wearing a 30-inch bust-down middle part and holding her original wig in a plastic evidence bag. She sobbed as she said, "I just wanted love. I just wanted peace. I didn't expect violence on my big day. I didn't expect to be scalped in front of my grandmother." Reporters gasped, and one brave blogger asked if she still had feelings. The meme unstoppably went viral after she paused and whispered, "I still got feelings, but not for him, for revenge." A picture of Claressa with the caption, "I got feelings like for revenge," now has 3.8 million shares. Someone remixed the line, and the beat drops into Jasmine Sullivan's Backstabber. Another tweet read, "This is the greatest love triangle since Beyonce, Jay, and Becky with the good hair." Let's not forget the most unexpected twist of all. Remy shared a blurry picture of herself looking out a limo window on Instagram with the caption, one word, "unbothered." The picture received over 1 million likes and thousands of comments, and fans quickly roasted Papoose. Now, everyone is wondering, what will happen next? Will Remy file a lawsuit of her own? Will Claressa plan a second wedding with security this time? Will Papoose disappear into the same Bermuda Triangle that destroyed Safari's credibility? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This story has forever altered the landscape of celebrity drama. To pull up and unleash wigged-out vengeance. Or did she just set a new standard for public humiliation at a private wedding? Regardless of whether you're on Remy's side, Claressa's side, or are still trying to figure out why Papoose was wearing a tux instead of a therapist's office, one thing is certain. This wasn't just a love triangle. It was a PR disaster wearing a lace front. What do you think? Is Claressa inappropriate for attempting to marry another woman's man in secret? Did Remy go too far by transforming wedding vows into combat choreography? Most importantly, whose wig deserves justice? Please share your thoughts in the comments section because we're not done drinking yet. To ensure you don't miss the next scandal, ring the bell and subscribe for more turmoil if you enjoyed the video. Your favorites will be revealed.